Welcome to my channel. Subscribe, listen, and enjoy my stories every day. The morning sunlight spilled across the kitchen floor, glinting off the stainless steel appliances and casting long shadows on the tiles. I stood frozen, a piece of paper clutched in my trembling hand, the words on it searing into my brain, a cruel tattoo of betrayal. I don't love you. I'm leaving you for our boss. Unlike you, he always gives me gifts and beautiful bouquets, not like you. How long I stood there staring at the note, I couldn't say. The coffee pot gurgled in the background, a mocking reminder of normalcy, as my world tilted on its axis. May, the woman I loved, had left me. Not just left me, but for my boss. The sting of betrayal was sharp, edged with the dull throb of inadequacy. With a shaky breath, I crumpled the note in my fist. The paper bit into my palm, a physical pain to match the ache in my chest. I should have seen it. The late nights, the secretive calls, the sudden disinterest in our plans. But love had blinded me, fooled me into believing in a shared future that was never to be. The front door closed with a soft click, and I turned to find my neighbor, Sarah, stepping inside. Her presence was a sudden intrusion into my personal hell, her brow furrowed with concern. "Hey, are you all right?" I saw May leave with a suitcase. Sarah's voice was gentle, probing. I forced a tight-lipped smile, the crumpled note still in my hand. "Yeah, just some changes, that's all. She's gone." Sarah's eyes flicked to the paper in my grip, her expression softening. "Want to talk about it?" I hesitated, then nodded. We sat at the kitchen table, the note lying flat between us like an accusation. As I recounted the morning's discovery, Sarah listened intently, her hand occasionally reaching out to offer a comforting squeeze. "It's not just that she left, Sarah," I confessed, my voice breaking slightly. "It's that she left me for him. My boss. And apparently, it's been going on for a while." Sarah sucked in a breath, her hand freezing mid-air. "That's rough. I can't even imagine." The conversation at work later that day only poured salt on my open wounds. As I walked through the office, the side glances and hushed whispers followed me. It seemed everyone knew about May and my boss. Everyone but me. At lunch, I cornered my coworker Jake, who reluctantly spilled the beans. "Look, man, we didn't know how to tell you. Everyone was scared if the boss found out we knew. It could have been our jobs on the line too." Rage simmered beneath my shock, replacing the hurt with a cold resolve. "So you all kept quiet? Just let me be the fool." Jake looked down, his discomfort palpable. "I'm really sorry, man. It was a messed up situation." Leaving the office that day, the note's words echoed mockingly in my head. My sadness and regret slowly hardened into something darker. They had made their choices, and now I would make mine. As I drove home, a plan began to form. A way to settle scores. They thought they had taken everything from me, but they were wrong. I still had my pride, my cunning, and now, a burning desire for revenge. They would pay, both of them, and I knew just how to start. I reached for my phone, dialing the number that would set everything in motion. As the line clicked, connecting the call, a grim smile twisted my lips. "Hello, I need to speak to someone about a very sensitive issue at my workplace." Revenge, as they say, is a dish best served cold, and I was just getting started. The crisp click of my heels against the sterile office floor feels unusually defiant today. As I stride toward the HR department, the murmur of the office crowd grows softer, replaced by the pulsing adrenaline that courses through my veins. My heart beats a fierce rhythm, echoing the drum of revenge that started to play in my mind. I tap lightly on the HR office door, which swings open to reveal a stern-faced woman seated behind a mountain of paperwork. Lisa, our HR manager, looks up, her expression shifting from surprise to concern. "Can we talk?" I ask, my voice steady despite the churning in my stomach. Lisa nods, gesturing to the chair across her desk. "Of course, have a seat. What's on your mind?" The door clicks shut, sealing off the curious eyes and ears of my coworkers. "It's about the boss," I begin, leaning forward, and a situation involving favoritism and a personal relationship with an employee. Lisa's eyes widen slightly, her professional facade cracking with intrigue. "Go on," she prompts, her voice a low whisper now. As I lay out the details, carefully curated snippets of May and the boss's affair, I watch Lisa's expression turn from interest to shock. I had no idea, she mutters, jotting down notes. This is serious, we need to handle this delicately. I agree, I say, feeling the first threads of an alliance weaving together. I thought you should know first. I trust your judgment on how we should proceed. Lisa nods, her demeanor now resolute. Thank you for coming forward. I'll start looking into this immediately. We might need more evidence, though. I understand, I reply, standing up. I'll keep my eyes open and bring anything I find straight to you. Exiting the HR office feels like stepping off a battlefield, having fired the first shot. The air outside seems different, charged with the tension of impending conflict. Back at my desk, I'm suddenly greeted by Tom, a colleague from the tech department. His usual cheerful grin is tinged with concern today. Heard you went to see Lisa. Everything okay, he whispers, leaning close. I hesitate, then decide to trust Tom. He's always been straightforward with me. It's about the boss. There's a situation. Tom's eyebrows shoot up, his interest piqued. Say no more, he says, glancing around before lowering his voice. You need backup, you let me know. Some of us have been waiting for a chance to see some changes around here. Gratitude washes over me, mingled with the relief of not being alone in this fight. Thanks, Tom. I might just take you up on that. As the day wears on, the office seems like a chessboard, each player moving with cautious intent, alliances forming in whispered conversations. The seed of rebellion is sown, sprouting beneath the surface, fed by whispers and wary glances. At the end of the day, as I pack up my things, my phone buzzes with a text from an unknown number. I open it, my pulse quickening. Be careful. He knows something is up. The message is anonymous, untraceable, but it sends a shiver down my spine. Stepping into the cool evening air, the city lights flicker like distant stars. The game has indeed changed. Now, it's not just about revenge, it's about survival and strategy, and I need to be one step ahead. As I drive home, my mind races with plans and possibilities. Tomorrow I will recruit more allies. The more we are, the harder we fall, or in our case, the harder we fight, and I am ready for whatever comes next. The morning light barely creeps through the blinds of my apartment as I gear up for what promises to be a day of alliances and whispers. My phone, a constant companion now, buzzes with messages and emails, each one a thread in the intricate web I'm weaving through the office. Today I need more than just passive support, I need active participants in this quiet uprising. As I step out, the crisp air bites at my skin, a stark reminder of the risks ahead. The drive to work is short, but my mind races with strategies and contingencies. Upon entering the office, I head straight for the break room, a neutral ground often bustling with early risers clutching at coffee mugs. Today it's quieter, the usual hum subdued, as if the room itself senses the shift. I spot Jenna and Mark, two colleagues from the finance department, talking in hushed tones. They pause as I approach, their faces a mix of curiosity and caution. Morning, I start, keeping my voice light. Mind if I join you? Jenna nods, a tight smile on her lips. Sure, we were just discussing the Q3 reports, or trying to. I pour myself a coffee, feeling the weight of the room's gaze. Actually, I wanted to talk about something else, something important. Mark raises an eyebrow, interest piqued. Oh. Leaning in, I lower my voice. It's about the boss and certain decisions that might not be in the best interests of the company. Jenna stiffens, her eyes darting around. Are you saying what I think you're saying? Yes, and I believe it's time we did something about it. I gauge their reactions carefully, looking for signs of agreement or dissent. Mark nods slowly, his initial skepticism shifting towards resolve. I've noticed a few irregularities myself, but we need more than just suspicions. That's where I need your help, I admit, laying out my cards. Gathering evidence, getting more people on board. If we're united, we can push for a proper investigation. Jenna glances at Mark, then back at me, determination settling over her features. Okay, let's do this. What do you need us to do? Keep an eye on financial approvals and unusual expenditures. Anything that doesn't add up, document it. Discreetly I instruct, feeling the foundation of our rebellion solidify. "We've got your back," Mark asserts, a firm nod sealing his commitment. As the day progresses, I touch base with more colleagues. Each conversation is a delicate dance, a balance between revealing just enough to enlist support without spreading panic. By lunchtime, a dozen have quietly pledged their aid. Back at my desk, I find an envelope with no name on it. Inside, copies of suspicious contracts and emails, anonymous, yet potent ammunition. My anonymous supporter is playing their part perfectly. Later, Tom pulls me aside, a flash drive in his hand. "Security footage," he whispers, slipping it to me. "Might want to look at this." At home, I load the footage on my laptop. The video shows the boss and May, their interactions unmistakably intimate, in places they shouldn't be. It's the proof we need, but it's also a stark reminder of the personal stakes involved. That night I can't sleep. The pieces are in place, our forces gathered, but the path ahead is fraught with danger. We are not just challenging a person, but a structure, a culture. As dawn colors the sky, I make a decision. Today I confront the boss. Not with anger or accusations, but with undeniable evidence. The thought steadies me. It's no longer just about heartbreak or betrayal. It's about justice, about protecting the integrity of our workplace. With each step back to the office, my resolve hardens. This ends today, one way or another. The office is unusually silent as I walk through the corridors, each step echoing off the walls with a definitive thud. My heart pounds in my chest, not from fear but from the finality of what I am about to do. Today the facade falls, and the truth comes to light. In my pocket, the flash drive weighs as much as a lead block, filled with irrefutable evidence. When I reach the door to the boss's office, I hesitate only for a moment before knocking firmly. The door swings open, revealing him sitting behind his desk, his expression unreadable. "Good morning," I say, managing to keep my voice steady. "We need to talk." He gestures to a chair across from him. "Of course, sit down. What seems to be the matter?" I remain standing, feeling more empowered on my feet. "It's about the company's well-being and your actions that jeopardize it." His eyebrows raise slightly, a controlled surprise. "My actions? I'm not sure I follow." Without another word, I place the flash drive on his desk. This contains evidence of financial discrepancies and inappropriate relationships that directly violate company policies and ethics. For a moment he is silent, his fingers tenting as he regards the flash drive. Then, unexpectedly, he smiles. I suppose it was only a matter of time before someone caught on. The calmness in his voice throws me, but I push forward. It's not just catching on, it's about taking action. I've informed HR, and they're initiating a full investigation. His smile widens, oddly amused. "I admire your courage and initiative." "Very well, let's see where this leads." He pauses, then adds, "But you should know, whatever you found, it only scratches the surface." Confusion flickers through me, but before I can question him, the office door opens. Lisa from HR steps in, her eyes serious. "There's more," she says, looking from him to me. "We've been conducting a parallel investigation into the company's leadership and financial management." And I prompt, my pulse racing. And she continues, "It appears that there's been a systematic issue far beyond just our boss here. It involves several top executives." The boss nods solemnly. "It's true. I've been part of it, but only as a smaller piece of a larger puzzle." Shock courses through me. "So you're admitting to it?" "I am," he says, his voice steady, "and I'm ready to cooperate fully with any investigation. However," he looks directly at me, "I want to make a deal. I help you clean up the company, bring down the real culprits, and I get a lesser penalty." It's a moment of moral reckoning. Can I trust him? Is his cooperation worth the risk? Lisa interjects, "It might be our best shot at dismantling the entire corrupt structure. He has information we can't get otherwise." Taking a deep breath, I nod slowly. "Okay, we do this together, but remember, full transparency. One misstep, and the deal is off." "Agreed," he says, extending his hand. As I shake it, there's a sudden, sharp knock on the door. It opens to reveal May, her face pale and shocked. "I heard what's happening," she stammers. "I want to help too, I have evidence as well. The boss and I exchange a look, an unspoken agreement passing between us. Join us, I say, and she nods, stepping inside. Together we sit down, allies born of necessity, ready to untangle the web of deceit that's bound our company for too long. The road ahead is uncertain, fraught with potential pitfalls, but for the first time I feel we might just make it through.